So perfect. So welcome everybody. I'm so glad that you're here. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Perfect. Tristan, since I can see you, give me a thumbs up if you're seeing financial fitness, no judgment zone, preparing for holiday spending. Yes, awesome. All right, I think we're good, guys. We're going to go ahead and get started. Again, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. It is 70 degrees. It's going to be 80 this weekend. And can you believe it? We are in holiday spending season. I'm going to talk to you about why we should be in holiday season, spending season for right now. But first and foremost, I really want to just remind ourselves that this is all about, let's get into the right vibe. Let's find our holiday happiness. And sometimes by starting sooner, it helps us to just not be as stressed out. And really, that's what this is all about. So no matter where you are today, let's move forward with grace for ourselves, grace for our friends and family. Let's accept our imperfections. Ain't nobody likes anybody perfect. And that comes to holidays. And somehow we tend to put ourselves into this imperfect zone or perfection zone, which leads to imperfection. So let's just embrace our imperfection. And let's not lose sight of what really counts. And it's taking in those beautiful moments and those joy with your friends and family. And let's try to respond with kindness, especially when it comes to ourselves. And breathe in more joy and exhale more stress. All right, so enough of that. Now let's go ahead and get started into why you guys are all here. We are in holiday shopping. So whether you're shopping online or at stores, if your finances are not prepared for these expenses, it could totally lead to stress. So first, I'm gonna kind of throw it out there. You know, where are we? I'm reading a book, or actually I'm listening on Audible to a book by Matthew McConaughey called Green Lights. And I love this book. And he's always talking about there are green lights in life or yellow lights or red lights. And it's all about trying to seize the green lights. So if you're in the camp that has been saving diligently since January, you are in a green light go. If you are not in that camp and you're like the majority of us that had all the best intentions of maybe even setting up a Christmas account at the credit union, yes, by the way, we have one of those to help you save throughout the year to be in the camp of green light go, then you're in the yellow camp or maybe even in the red camp. But I want to share some tips and tricks today because what I want to do is not have a decision made this holiday haunt you in 2023. So I'm going to talk to you about some savvy ways of doing some spending. But first, I want to talk a little bit about what the expectation is for shopping forecasting. So last year, when we did this session, there was a high expectation that shopping season was going to be super high. There was a lot of pent-up demand. People were ready to get out and about. We were ready to get out and spend. We were ready to do all the things. The concern last year was not having enough of the merchandise. Well, this year we've got a different challenge. We're in the world of inflation. And so there are already projections that are anticipating that spending is going to be a little reduced. What is not going to be reduced is internet sales. I think we've become consumers that really like internet sales and are looking to go do more of that. I think the other thing about internet sales that I think we all like is this ability to have reviews and to really see what other consumers are saying about products. No matter what, everything that I've been reading is shoppers are looking for deals. And you know what? I got to tell you, what just came in the mail today are the shopping catalogs from Amazon and from Target. And so what's happening now, which is very unique, are the deals that generally started in November are starting today. Target is introducing Black Friday. So every Friday starting in October 4th, so it's already ongoing, all the way through Christmas Eve, you can see different Black Friday specials. Walmart is starting to introduce Cyber Mondays. And instead of just doing one Monday after Thanksgiving, they're going to introduce it every single Monday in November. And Amazon is already introducing another Prime Day. So definitely this is a shopper's market. So that's the good news for all of us, is that you can be in market for really good deals. All right, I've got my first question. Does Matthew McConaughey read the auto book himself? Roy, he does, and he does a phenomenal job with it. And it's a wonderful way to hear it and just to hear Matthew McConaughey tell a phenomenal story about his life. So I can see the chat. This is really good. All right, so here we are. We are in holiday shopping season, which I don't know about you guys, but this is like the earliest that I can remember really talking about holiday shopping ever in my life. And we're not even in Halloween time, but I think it's because the big brands know that they're anticipating shopping to be down. So you're getting really marketed as a consumer to start your shopping now. And I'll tell you, if you're in the camp that has not saved all year or budgeted for it, or if you're in the camp of the yellow lights of just kind of not wanting to do damage, this is the perfect time to get started. So last month or the month prior, we talked about budgeting. We talked about 50% of your take-home pay should go to all of your needs. And that's your rent, that's your utilities. Those are for the things that keep the lights on, food on the table. 30% can go to your wants and 20% goes to your savings. So if you're following a 50, 30, 20, and you weren't able to budget all year, then your want money is now your budget for the holidays. And so it is really important, if you start this early to shop and take advantage of all these great deals, make a list. Who are you buying for? How much do you want to spend? What else? Because you know what else adds up are holiday parties or having people over or wanting to go, if you're going over for dinner and you're bringing things. Those are all the extras that we live in during the season that we don't always think about from a budgeting perspective. But I got to tell you something. If you start shopping now, make that list, stay super organized, because if you don't and you're wrapping your presents like, a couple of days before the holidays, then pretty soon, you start bringing all your gifts and you're like, oh, shoot, man, I just doubled up on certain people. So the trick to taking advantage of all those specials that are out there, being really savvy with your money, is keeping a list of who you bought for, because it gets very hard to track all of that spending. And especially if you're trying to hide it from your kids or your family, now you've got it hidden in a hidey hole and you're still trying to remember who you bought for. It can get confusing fast, and it's a very easy way to overspend. So make that list, check it twice. Who do you need to buy for? How much do you want to budget for? Keep track of that. Because the trick of finding your holiday happiness is to not blow your budget and to keep on track. And the real is, ain't nobody care. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves to give that perfect gift, to give more. Some of us, from a psychology of spend, believes that spending equates to love, right? I'm kind of that person. I love to gift my friends and family, especially my grandchildren, but to me, it equates with love. So next month, we're going to talk about different ways to manage stress. We're going to talk a little bit about the psychology of spend. And it is important to understand, just like your love language, to understand your spend language. All right, so here are your 7 holiday shopping tips. But I had to throw in that little graphic. So I hope you can see that, because guys, those are gifts for under 25 bucks that you can't beat. And honestly, if you go to TJ Maxx, you can probably even get this stuff cheaper and nobody needs to know. And now you're like winning in the holidays. So set your budget before you start shopping. We all know this. Get that 2x4 list. And it is important to get the 2x4 list because you know what? That stuff starts to scope creep before you know it. And that's where you're trying to grab some of these gifts under 25 to have them in a little stash so that you can give them if you need to. And get your gift buying schedule. So if you get paid once a week, then you know whatever that extra is, that now is no longer your eating out budget, that's your spending budget. So try to spend your spending in alignment with when you're getting your salary. Make sure you're getting the best deals. And oh my gosh, I've got a tip for you on that one. Guys, don't forget about DIY. I mean, I am not crafty, but one year I found these beautiful bulbs at Prairie Garden, and they were very inexpensive, and they made paper whites. And I ended up just planting them and giving them as gifts. And they were such a lovely gift, and it was a really inexpensive gift. And it became an easy way for me to kind of give a hostess gift at a very good budget. Now, if you have other skills, which I'm sure many of you do, take advantage of those artistic gifts. And if you can do something in poem writing or any of those talents, now's the time to start using those and to sharing those gifts, because those definitely are better than anything else. Don't rule out secondhand gifts. I mean, you know, honestly, if you've got a treasure that you love and you want to give that treasure to somebody else, what a beautiful gift to be able to share the why and give the story behind it. So it's not about repurposing, it's about sharing something that has given you joy that now you want to give to somebody else. And to share that story is such a beautiful thing. And you know what? Those are generally the things that are passed on generation to generation. And then try to avoid last minute shopping. And here's why. If you're going to be, we're all savvy consumers, right? So we're all trying to take advantage of it. So right now, the brands are thinking shopping is down. So the specials are here. We've got specials in October. We've got specials in November. If shopping comes back up and they're not hurting in December, those deals are going to go. So if you've waited until December, you may not have the same deals, or maybe you will, but that's kind of a risk. And that's the challenge about waiting to the last minute to do your shopping. All right, so where the heck does your holiday fund come from if you don't want to have to stress yourself out and be paying for things all of 2023? So here it is. It is all about trying to figure out where are these extra dollars. We talked about the budgeting, and now it's those want money that you have is now your budget. How about a no spend November? No eating out. Pause or cancel your subscriptions. I mean, those apps cost so much money. Go ahead and just pause them. We're going to talk about some other banking tips, but for right now, here are some quick things that you can do. Side hustle. Can you get a second job? I'm all about that. The money you earn, 8 to 5, is the money you need to live on. But it's things that we do outside of 8 to 5 is that really starts creating wealth. So what can you do right now to jump in on a weekend job? And better yet, can you imagine working at Target and getting a discount? So now that dollars can go straight to your spending. Sell some stuff. I mean, Facebook Market is real, and try to find some ways to kind of move things along that you don't want any longer, and you don't want to repurpose to somebody else. And then just set that spending limit. So stay on track twice, 3 times, 4 times. I say that because y'all, how many times, and maybe it's just me and I'm projecting, but how many times have you started wrapping presents and you've all of a sudden realized you've overbought because you forgot that you bought somebody a present that you didn't remember because you weren't organized? The reason why I talk about being organized is, y'all, like, I'm the #1 person who's never organized. It is a thing. Thank God for my iPhone watch or my iPhone phone, so I can keep a little notepad. All right, Brooke, I got a hand raise on that. I really appreciate that. So it is really important, if you're going to start early, take advantage of the details that you don't overbuy. It's a thing. All right, so I'm going to talk about credit. I love credit. I'm a big user of credit. I also believe in if you use credit and you pay it off in full every single month, then you can be winning in the game of credit because now you can use rewards. And if you've got rewards, you've got opportunities to buy gift cards, free money, guys. So all your spend is now helping you buy things that you want for the holidays and for your gift getting. So it's such a great option for holiday spending. They're always more secure than cash, and you can track your spending. Plus, with rewards or cash back, now you're winning and you're actually leveraging your spend. So pay down or pay off your current balances if you can. I am going to stress, I stress all the time, if you're going to use credit, pay it off in full. Sometimes it's hard to do that, and I understand it. Then use it in moderation if you're carrying a balance, because interest rates are really rising right now. And this is something that can cause you a yellow or red light in 2023, and to cause you to be paying something off that for a decision that you made right now. All right. And then pay off the holiday money that you've saved and avoid that spending hangover. But here are some other tips. If you're in a jam, here are some ways to manage some of your spending. If you don't want to use your credit for whatever reason, because interest rates are high, consider getting a personal loan. And I didn't share all the information because there's so much on our personal loans, but I do have the website there, so you guys can check out our website and learn a little bit more about our personal loans. So we have some personal loans that are at a fixed rate, and that rate is just under 7%, and that's better than most credit cards right now. So just be mindful of those. Anybody here a member of the credit union that, let's say, has an auto loan? Can you raise your hand if you do? Or even jump into the chat. All right, so here's another tip. And this is something, thank you, Catherine, I appreciate that. So here's another thing that the credit union offers their members that have a loan, is this ability to skip a payment. So if you are strapped for cash and we do not want you to have, red lights in 2023 because you've overspent, consider skipping a payment and using that cash to help you pay for the holidays. So those are just a couple of other tips that I thought about that I thought could be really helpful. Now, what I know about these webinars is that generally the people who are on here are super, super smart. So if you've got some ideas yourself, jump into the chat and please share them, because that is something that I know about this group, is that you guys are really, really smart. Here's a shopping idea. Buy Via. Anybody using that right now? Okay, so Buy Via, you can either go to the website, so the .com, or you can download the app. And what I love about the app is that it allows you to look at a barcode and know locally if somebody else is selling it at a cheaper rate. And one thing I'm going to tell you is, if you're at a big box store and you can, I'm making this up, but let's say you're at Meijer and it shows that whatever you're shopping for is cheaper at Walmart, ask Meijer, ask the store manager if they'll price match. And you'll find more and more of the big brands are price matching. And Buy Via allows you to do that and kind of very quickly see who's got the very best price, including Amazon as well. The other thing it does is it gives little alerts so that if there's something that you have an eye on, like a PlayStation or a big ticket item, then set an alert. And then when that goes on sale or special, you'll be sure to get the very best price. Buyvia.com. I really like this. It's a brand new app that I got. I tested it out and it's pretty slick. Shop local. You can't go wrong with shopping local. You help boost your own economy, And oftentimes you can get some really beautiful hidden gems within our own backyard. So downtown Champaign, downtown Urbana, some of the smaller communities like St. Joe, Monticello, Bloomington Normal, Danville, there are some amazing artisans here. And you can get that gift that I can guarantee nobody else is going to have, and you'll probably get it at a pretty good rate. And don't forget about the big three. The big three right now are giving us some major deals. Cyber Mondays starting in November with Walmart. Target has Black Fridays every Friday running through Christmas Eve. And then Amazon's already added an extra Prime Day. What's interesting about Amazon is I'm starting to see on a pretty regular basis, scary, Amazon just clicked onto my watch, thinks I'm shopping. It's very scary how all this works. Anyways, Amazon is already starting to show up with different specials because they know your spend. But be savvy. Just because it's on Amazon, it doesn't guarantee it's always the best price. So make sure that you're price shopping. I think that's really, really important. The other thing is, if you're sitting here and you're in a beautiful spot and you've saved your money and you just want to gift people money, check out some of our certificates or money market rates. But we've got some amazing gifts that you can give the gift of money that not only is money today, but money in the future. And again, I have that in there. I was just trying to think of creative ways that you can give things that are not just materialistic, but right now is the gift of money that continues to grow. So that becomes a green light for you and that person that you're gifting throughout the very next year. And lastly, guys, let's just give ourselves permission to spend less. It is really about being with friends and family, the stress less and setting yourselves up for a very strong 2023, but it's all about living within your budget. It's okay to give a gift. It's better to even give something that you've already made or a treasure that you've had that you think somebody else would enjoy. It is all about giving yourself the gift of success in 2023. So happy holidays. I cannot believe I'm talking about this. I don't know about you, but instead of hot chocolate tonight, I definitely want a slushie. And if you have any additional questions or thoughts, you can always jump into the chat, or you can contact me at my email or on my cell phone. But if anybody now has any questions and you just want to turn on your video and not mute yourself, then that would be wonderful too. Okay, and if not, then that concludes our webinar. Next month, we're going to talk about ways to stress less in the holidays. So I hope you'll join us. And like I shared, if you have any additional comments or if you just had any other questions, feel free to drop me a note or send me a text. But for now, I'm just so grateful that you spent some time with me. And I just appreciate you guys giving me some of your evening tonight. Thank you. And thank you, Andrea.
Thank you for the presentation.
Thanks, Roy. Thanks, Catherine. All right, you guys, have a wonderful night. Bye.